I guess they were both underneath there whispering to each other like, oh, it's quite snug down here.
Yes, it is. I need your help.
Okay, what do you need?
The next woman that comes and lives here, I need you to help me keep her here. I need her to stay in this house.
Okay, why?
Let's not bother with why, it's not really important.
Am I not good enough, or?
I'm a fucking lesbo.
Oh.
Keep your promise! I can't! Okay.
And at the very, very end, it turns out Anna really liked this guy, even though he tried to kill her, and he's a complete stranger. She just really likes him. He's got a good personality, you know what I mean? For a ghost that's trying to kill you, anyway. So he calls her name from inside the house when she finally gets out. And what does she do? She just walks right back up to the house. She doesn't even keep her distance. She's like right up next to the door, so he can just open the door and pull her in. And get this, as bad as this movie was, I still cared about Anna more than I cared about any character in The Nun. So, it's kind of sad, really. The Bad Nun. The movie starts out with this really annoying flickering effect with the text. Also, this movie definitely has the worst title out of all the movies I'm talking about today. The Bad Nun? You could have called it a million things better than that. The Evil Nun. The Disgruntled Nun. It's like a 3-year-old chose the name of this movie. And the saddest part is that it was originally called The Watcher, but they renamed it The Bad Nun in order to capitalize on the release of The Nun. But hey, I found out about this movie, so apparently it worked. So the movie starts with this random girl texting this guy, this very creepy and pushy guy. You know, he's like, I wanna get laid now! Come to my house now and let's fuck! And she's like, alright. Yeah, I guess I can abandon my plate of diarrhea to hang out with this random boy. Why not? Hopefully I don't fart and fill the room with the smell of nasty ricotta cheese when he's banging me from behind. But yeah, let's go to his house anyway. What comes up next is definitely one of the worst scenes in this movie. You know how characters are generally pretty stupid in horror movies? Well, this girl doesn't even have a brain. Like, it's just empty in there. There's nothing. She's the dumbest person. So she enters this random house without the guy answering the door or calling her or anything, just texting her, telling her to come in. So she goes in and she leaves the door open, which is very weird. So she sits down in this random house and she's texting this guy still, saying like, hey, where are you? I'm here. I'm just sitting downstairs, so you want to show yourself, that'd be cool. And she doesn't even try calling him. For anybody else on earth, like even a 6-year-old, there'd be a little person in your mind with a massive red flag just waving it back and forth. Hey! This is probably not gonna work out. So then the nun in this movie closes the door and she hears it, so she finally becomes suspicious, like, oh, my one brain cell activated. It's telling me that someone's in here and they're probably not gonna be nice to me. So she closes herself off into a room and calls the police. They ask her for the address, but she just doesn't give it to them. Like, okay, you can at least be a little bit helpful. You don't know the address? How'd you get there? Blind luck? Did he send you a list of turn right here, turn left here, turn right, turn left? So then the nun just walks up nonchalantly and stabs her. She pretty much just lets it happen. But that wasn't enough, so the nun starts to drown her in a bathtub, and she kind of just sits there and lets herself drown. You have limbs, you know, like move them around, you just wiggle them, right? If you're about to die, just wiggle your limbs as hard as you can. Maybe piss and shit yourself. That's kind of gross. Maybe that'll make them go away. Who knows? So the rest of this movie follows this girl named Aisha. Her mom is mad at her that she won't stop partying and she doesn't take her studies very seriously. So what does she do? She makes her go to this bed and breakfast that's 40 minutes away and stay there for the weekend without anything to do, without anyone to see. Just tells her to go there and rot. Pretty much. That'll show her. And surprisingly, Aisha is okay with this. She doesn't seem all that bothered by it. She's like, okay, well, see you later, Mom.
Enjoy yourself. Relax. And text me when you get there. It's snowing as well, so you can send me a selfie.
I won't let you down.
Look, his name's Dan, and he's picking you up from the station.
This girl is inhumanly lenient with her mom. If my mom told me that I was going to be in a car with this random guy for 40 minutes driving to a bed and breakfast that I've never been to, and staying there for 2 full days with nothing to do, I would probably run away. And not only that, she's going to be alone with this random old guy that she's never met for 2 full days. I was very much expecting some weird rapey scenes in this movie because of this. Thank God there weren't any. So they finally get there, the guy shows her around, and she goes for a run because what the hell else is she going to do? She's in the middle of the forest and she accepts a call from her friend, and basically her friend's like, hey, I'm gonna drive 2 hours to see you and hang out at this random bed and breakfast with you because I have literally no other friends and I have nothing else.
Блять, эта пизда ебливая перестанет срать своей хуйтой, блять.
So she goes to this random church.
Только что, блять, доставал.
And then the bad nun shows up behind her. I wonder who has that exact head shape that we've seen before. You don't gotta be Sherlock Holmes to figure this one out, guys. So then Aisha exits the church and there's this weak jump scare. Guess who it is?
Didn't need to scare you. I see you found the church.
Oh, it's the guy. Man, I wonder who the nun is. Well, the only other person that was around. The guy. It's not much of a twist if you ask me. They're pretty much shoving it in your face. Then there's this scene of Aisha and this guy walking in on this random French lady taking a shit. If they took her character out, it would pretty much be the exact same movie. Yeah, he attacks the French lady, she screams and bangs on the house. But Aisha's like deaf or something, so she didn't notice. But if he killed her, because she knew about Aisha, Aisha's mom knows who this guy is and where she's staying. So if she ends up dead, who's the only possible person that she could blame? This guy is kind of stupid. He's pretty much the worst killer imaginable. During this movie, Aisha is able to call people and text people, but then her phone just randomly doesn't work whenever, you know, the movie doesn't want her phone to work.
999, what's your emergency? Please?
Да, блять, да что нахуй за хуета происходит? Ёб твою мать.
Oh, my phone doesn't work right now, so I can't call the police, even though I called my best friend in the middle of the woods and it worked totally fine. Aisha's outside because she heard a sound out there. Conveniently, her friend shows up at the house while Aisha's outside. Her friend doesn't even try to call her when she gets there, so her friend's just like walking around the house, and then she gets attacked by the nun. So then the nun does something very strange. She puts Aisha's friend in a bedroom and then leaves the house, waits for Aisha to go back into the house, and then knocks on the door and tries to convince Aisha to let her in, instead of just staying in the house and attacking Aisha when she comes in. And the only reason that they do this is to confuse the audience. And then he tells her that he has cookies.
I have cookies.
Блять, ты ёбаная залупа тупая, нахуй.
I have cookies, let me in because I have cookies. Like, what is she, 3 years old? Ooh, look, a nice tasty treat. Let me just open the door. And if he's the only person there, why would he make it so hard on himself to kill this girl? Like, what are you getting out of this? Why? Why are you doing this? It makes no sense. Hilariously, this guy reveals himself to her later on. Like, hey, look, I'm the creepy nun. The guy that you knew all along, it's me. I'm the nun. What was the point in trying to hide your identity this whole time and trying to confuse her? What are you doing, dude? I mean, clearly they try to